Obviously, keeping Texas red, a big focus of many Republicans who are out there. And joining us, our next guest with Keep Texas Red, organization that is aiming, of course, to keep Texas red. Stacey Roberts joining us. Stacey, coordinator for Keep Texas Red, has a big event coming up here in Lubbock this weekend. Stacey, good morning. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Chad. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about this organization, Keep Texas Red.
Well, it's a grassroots organization. It's not funded or organized by the Republican Party, but we are completely in support of the Republican Party. And what we're doing is we're trying to encourage voters to get involved with their local parties and also educate themselves on who and what they're voting on, and ultimately to go vote.
Yeah, well, that's needed. That's going to be needed in this upcoming election. And I know y'all have had these events in some other cities, including Fort Stockton, Odessa, and Del Rio. Tell us about the event that y'all will be having in Lubbock. This Saturday, correct?
Yes, it's this Saturday. It's going to be from 4 to 6 at the Rock City Event Center. We have two speakers, Alma Jackson, who is the Republican Party vice chair. She's a darling lady. She has over 30 years of conservative activism, and she's trained like over 150 precinct chairs. And she's going to be talking about a number of different things, but one of the main things is how to find valuable resources to motivate and encourage voters. And there's so many resources available within your local party, but we need to know how to get to those resources. And then Joseph Vargas is the other speaker. He is actually the founder and editor of KeepTexasRed.org, and he's also an author of a book called Dealing with the Democrat Modus Operandi. So he has a really fascinating perspective of 20-plus years ago actually working as a campaign person for the Democrats. So he has a lot of inside information on how they operate, obviously, with his book. So he gives us some insight on that and also gives us effective solutions on how to respond to the left's negative branding and how to actually communicate the conservative message better.
Well, and that's going to be so important because I think there are a lot of folks who one are Trump supporters who don't want to admit that they're Trump supporters. And you may not find that as much in Texas as you would some other states, but I think even in different parts of Texas, there are people who are a little bit worried about, wearing that Make America Great Again hat. They're worried about being labeled a racist or a bigot, not only by Democrats, but honestly, by Stacey, by the national news media. I mean, we looked this past week, with all the things making headlines. I think just about every single national newspaper branded the president a racist, and without knowing the man's heart, just branded him a racist. Yesterday. And I think this was an interview that occurred on ABC over the weekend. Beto O'Rourke, who is polling at a whopping 1%, said that the rally in North Carolina reminded him of the Nuremberg rally, that it was a pop-up Nuremberg rally, which means he thinks that everyone who attended was a Nazi. This is the language coming out of the Democrat Party. And for voters, the average Republican out there, they've got to learn how to combat that.
And see, that's exactly right, Chad. That's what he is going to discuss on their tactics and how to know who we're dealing with and how to respond without so much emotion, and how to actually respond properly so we can have a conversation because, there's obviously different types of people coming at us from different angles in that group. Some people actually will have an ability to listen, and some people, of course, that we're dealing with, you're not going to be able to get through to them. So he really touches on several tactics on how to respond to that. That's what we call the negative branding. It's the words that they use, how they twist the words, and take even things that mean something good and rebrand it into something bad and ugly.
Yeah. Will there be, obviously you have a couple of speakers lined up, or will there be time for people to ask questions?
Yes, exactly. What they do is they both speak for about 30 minutes approximately, and that's the first hour. And then we open it up for people to ask questions. So I like to suggest people bring something to write on and write some things down, maybe even before you come. But by listening to what the suggestions are that they have, it gives you the opportunity to ask questions after.
That's great. Visiting with Stacey Roberts of Keep Texas Red event coming up, or I guess town hall event coming up this weekend, this Saturday, July 27th from 4 to 6 p.m. over at the Rock City Event Center. Is there a cost to attend? Do people need to sign up in advance?
It is free, but you can go on. We do recommend that you go on to the keeptexasred.org site. You can sign up for the newsletter there, too, and also download the free ebook of Dealing with the Democrat Modus Operandi. But if you will go to that, it will direct you to the Facebook page. There's also an event set up for this on Facebook, and you can get an Eventbrite ticket if you wouldn't mind doing that. It's free. It's free of cost.
Very good. Yeah, it's always nice to know how many chairs to set up and everything else. So it's good to sign up in advance. You can go to keeptexasred.org. Stacey Roberts, thank you for joining us today, and good luck. Hope you all have a great time here in Lubbock this weekend.
Thank you, and thanks for letting us talk about Keep Texas Red.
You bet. Thank you. That's Stacey Roberts with Keep Texas Red, keeptexasred.org. Chad Hasty Show, KFYO.